This is Planet Music.
Welcome to Planet Music from the makers of Planet Marzipan.
In a streaming world, we're proud to be a podcast that celebrates the art of the album. Hello, welcome to Planet Music. I'm Mezza. I'm here with my good friends.
Craig.
And?
Mikey.
And?
Grae.
Welcome back, guys. It's the usual gang, and we are here, as you can see from the title of the episode, to discuss Julian Lennon's album from 1991, which is called Help Yourself. Full disclosure, this is my pick, so expect a shorter episode, folks. All right?
That's never going to happen.
It is. I don't think any of you had heard it. You'd heard the single before, hadn't you? You'd heard Saltwater.
I'd heard the single,
yeah.
Did you? It's funny looking at it though, because considering how well the single did, because I'm thinking back to the time when that came out. I remember it. Yeah, but I remember it being out in the summer of 91, but the summer of 91 was quite crowded with like big singles and stuff like that. And it's a song that I'd forgotten about.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I remember, as soon as we mentioned it, as soon as I heard it, oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
But I think also because the album, you've got a top 5 single, and the album like peaked at 42 on its release.
I know. I can't believe it.
So
I love it.
Do you not think it's because of when it came out? So 91, you're talking the birth of grunge and all the stuff that happened and everything. So people's musical direction changed. People that were into sort of rock and sort of more proggy stuff, there was a load of things happening. So it's quite possible.
You're seeing that. There was 5 new entries in the top 10 that week when his album came out. Yeah. Bryan Adams went straight in at number 1 with Waking Up the Neighbours, obviously on the back of Everything I Do For You. Status Quo came in at number 10 with Rock Till You Drop. The Cult came in at number 9 with Ceremony, which you'll know, Grae. Primal Scream came in at number 8 with Screamadelica. The Pixies came in with Trompe de la Monde at number 7. Guns N' Roses were already in the charts with Use Your Illusion Parts 1 and Parts 2. And Dire Straits were at number 2 with On Every Street. So it was quite a standard. It was quite a standard rocky atmosphere, I think, at the time. There's a lot of pop further down, obviously.
I think, though, Julian Lennon had got no momentum because his big hit was Too Late for Goodbyes, but that's like 3 albums earlier. That's like almost, what?
Yeah, that was 84.
7 or 8 years earlier.
Wasn't it? Yeah,
yeah.
And he wasn't really known for more rocky side of stuff.
No, it's not.
The heavier stuff.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you guys probably realise this, having listened to it. What attracts me to it is it's a Bob Ezrin production, so it's got progressive leanings, but with more standard songwriting, I would say.
Yeah, it's got a high pedigree, though, hasn't it? It's got a high pedigree.
Yeah.
But it's funny because you can think of Julian Lennon. He's got the name, but has he ever had a particularly big fan base? He's got a lot of publicity, and he's a lot, because he could snap his fingers essentially because of who his dad was, and the press will come running if he's got something to say.
So I'm going to full disclosure. I am not a Julian Lennon fan, and primarily because of the Nepo Baby thing.
That's
whatever. Don't get me wrong. Some of his songs are great, and we'll talk through this album because this album was a bit of a revelation for me, to be honest. But also, if you look at you mentioned the Bob Ezrin connection. If you look at the caliber of the session musicians he's got, even his own guitarist, is really well established. But the other two, John McCurry and Scott Hunter, Steve Hunter,
yeah,
Alice Cooper, various other people, and loads of work with really established names. Anthony Moore is a lyricist that we all know worked with Pink Floyd and what have you. right up to Endless River. So there's loads of stuff, and there's loads of cross. If you think about it, with us having done Momentary Lapse of Reason and Toy Matinee and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of crossover in production values and all that kind of stuff. This album was an eye opener for me, and it's going to make me go back and listen to some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I think listening to it again today, there are similarities between this and Shaming of the True because of all the things you've just said. I mean, there are moments on this album where Julian sounds like Kevin Gilbert to me.
So I was going to say earlier on before we started, certifiable #1 smash. There is a bit on this album where I'm going, it's all, I mean, lyrically, thematically, totally different. But oh my God, it just sounds like the same kind of batshit crazy brilliance.
Yeah.
And I think even listening to some of the stuff, you can see, or you can hear really, Bob Ezrin's influences that he's used on Momentary Lapse of Reason a bit, and was it later on where you've got the kids choir, it's all very Pink
Well, New
Floyd's,
Physics Ran.
New Physics.
with the we'll talk about that when we get to that.
Brilliant.
We'll get that. We'll get to that one.
Yeah. Do you not think he kind of suffers from a certain public perception, being a Beatles baby, that he should be some sort of clone of his father, and maybe even to a certain degree the record company maybe didn't market him correctly, or maybe the music press didn't accept him the right way.
He didn't get on with his dad, did he? Which
he always said
for Beatles
he wasn't really
mean that's why they don't have an affection for him. I don't know.
Well, that's it. He always said that he wasn't really ever in the Beatles inner circle. It just didn't happen.
Was he?
But
was he only like 17 or 18 when his dad died?
Oh yeah, he was reasonably young.
Was he in his 20s? No,
I think he was.
Was he born like 63 or something? And his dad died in 1980. So yeah, he'd have.
Yeah.
He's been quite public about his relationship with his dad, and more recently he's put it to bed and put it to rest, hasn't he? And he says he's come to terms with it all.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get on with the Wikipedia entry for this album. So, Help Yourself is the fourth studio album by English singer-songwriter Julian Lennon, released in 1991 through Atlantic Records in the US and Virgin Records in the UK. The album was a commercial success in Europe for Lennon, spawning the UK #6 hit Saltwater, as well as topping the charts in Australia for 4 weeks. However, it did not do well in the US, where Atlantic Records were said to have under-promoted the album. It was reissued along with The Secret Value of Daydreaming and Mr. Jordan on the 8th of September 2009 by Noble Rot Records. Craig, how old were you on the 20th of August 1991?
Oh, there we go. I was the ripe old age of 18, wasn't I?
You were 18 because I was 17. It was released 10 days before my birthday.
Yeah, it was just before your birthday, wasn't it? And
there
about 2 weeks before my 19th birthday. Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't even have to use my fingers for that one. I'm impressed.
No, you've worked that one out in advance, and you had some help from Mikey as well there. Let's have that on record. Let's talk about the music then. So there are 12 tracks on this album. It's just over an hour long, and the first track on side 1 is Rebel King. Craig, what do you make of that?
Oh, am I going first? Am I? Okay,
you are.
I think it's got a good, solid start to this. I actually really like Rebel King. I like the strings that turn into like an passing over plane.
Yeah.
I like the effect and stuff on that. It's very the drums are quite dramatic, and the guitar riff's quite it's quite dramatic there. It's a very rocky track. I think it's got. This is what we were talking just before there about the Floyd influence. I think the backing vocals are very like Floyd or Roger Waters solo stuff like that.
I think I mentioned probably before we recording that it's on CD. It's a Q Sound CD, so it's got that sort of spacious,
like surround sound ish in your head.
Yes, like effect. Yeah,
it's a very Roger Waters. Is it What Love Wants?
Is it? Yeah. What God Wants.
What God Wants. What God Wants is a very What God Wants type expansive.
Yeah.
And this is the year before that. This
Yeah.
was the year before that as well. So it's quite a catchy track, and it was actually used as the B-side on Saltwater as well.
Was it? Okay.
But yeah, I think it's a good opening tune, and it's in my top 3 songs on the album.
Good start. Mikey, what do you make of it?
I didn't know what I was expecting going into a Julian Lennon album. It's sure as shit wasn't this.
Yeah.
I've got 5 tracks that are vying for my favorite, and I still can't pick them. So I'm going to give you them all as my favorite track on the album.
All right.
So far, this is my favorite track on the album.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that.
I wasn't quite sure whether it was jets flying over at the start or missiles, but I suppose you could interpret it in either way. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And the one thing, I mean, obviously, Bob Ezrin's a master of not just production, but the use of sound effects and everything. It's just, there's so much happening through this album that if it's not listened to loud and with headphones on, you miss shitloads.
Absolutely, yeah, totally
Even
agree
some
with
of the
that.
acoustic work later on in the album, there's still stuff going on. It's absolutely amazing. I digress. I completely agree with Craig. There's just oodles of atmosphere going on here.
I was going to say, Mikey, do you think it's dense?
Awesome.
Do you think it's dense without being dense? If you get what I mean,
yeah,
it's layered,
I get
but
that.
it's
See,
not too dense.
where my head was going was Fisher's Sunsets and Empire.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Well, that's Q sound as well.
the vampires of the Margashetta, just the way that panned out. I think the musical hook sounded very Simple Minds to me. The doom, 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 doom. I just thought, well, Simple Minds could have done this, but that's just given him 5 gold stars for me. There's a 220. There's a shotgun sound effect.
Oh, that's amazing because everything falls away, doesn't
it? Yeah. And then it reverses that sound before it goes back into the song.
It does,
Absolutely amazing. And the guitar solo, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I've got one gripe which is going to come up quite often in this album.
Okay,
is if the album's not the song should have been longer.
It's already nearly 6 minutes.
Yeah, no, there's still stuff going on in the background of the fade out. I would love to hear some of the studio recording. There's bound to be stuff on tape somewhere where these guys are still playing stuff out. And as it's fading out, you can still hear the guitars and stuff and the drums going. And it's like, what am I missing? I'm missing something here. There's something else going on. But brilliant, yeah. So, yeah, favourite track on the album so far.
Okay, no. Grae's not left you much to say, has he? I can see you shaking your head all the way through.
He hasn't. It's honestly, I mean, I had no idea what to expect. Julian Lennon, for me, was the singles that had been released previously. And while they were good singles, they didn't really entice me to listen to much more. I put this on and I was like, sorry, what? The second it started, I was like, oh, this isn't what I expected. And it was nice to begin with. It was like, yeah, okay, oh, this is cool. And then all of a sudden it just goes bang. And it's like, and I'm just like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. And it's like you say, it's the use of effects, the use of Q sound, the use of the expansiveness, the choirs. It's a huge production. But unlike where we said the Deer Hunter started off everything but the kitchen sink, far too much all in your face at the same time, it's a James Guthrie and Bob Ezrin production and mix. It is pristine, so everything is in its place. And when you listen to it, it's just like, this is wonderful. And then that guitar, I mean, it's not even a short guitar solo, is it?
No.
They let it rip. It is phenomenal. And to think, I mean, I don't know if it's his guitarist or one of the 2 session musicians that are in there playing, but holy shit. And like I say, definitely one of my top 3 songs on the album. It just like blew me away, and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to enjoy this.
There's a boat.
I'll stop there.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest. I was like, what I was dreading was, oh my god, here we go, Beatles-esque music.
No, there's only
And
one. There's only one, and that's next. But yeah,
yeah.
um,
And there's a couple of bits where I think, oh no, right, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
But this song was not one of. This song was brilliant.
the first track. I mean, you've all said lovely things about it. It's. I mean, I'm using Barnes' word. It's epic. Is the first track. It's Roger Waters with a hook.
Yes.
It's like something off Amused to Death, but it's got a chorus and a hook to it.
So is this "My Dad Died in a Park"?
My
But
dad died on his doorstep.
it's got that long, slow build, and then everything comes in, and all the sound effects come in, and you get to the guitar solo, and then after that, it breaks back down again to just the bass and the drums, and he's singing, "You got to shoot that Rebel King down" over the top of it. It's completely atmospheric. It's brilliant.
Oh, will that be political? It should be the Democratic anthem.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's quite apt for the times, isn't it? But I think it's Matt Bissonette on drums and Lou Molino, who's on the Trevor Rabin Can't Look Away album, which is amazing as well. So I mean, the players are all session players of incredible caliber, as you'd expect. But Rebel King's a brilliant start. And I think Mikey said, this isn't an album to put on in the background. You put it on loud or you put it on in the headphones and you get the full benefit of it because there is so much going on this.
Yeah.
But Rebel King's a great start. And it's my favourite one so far as well. Craig, track 2 is the single Saltwater.
Yeah, this was the one that as soon as I heard it, I remembered it well, and I remember it back in the day. And I think, am I going to be cynical and say that did the play on the Beatles-esque sound of it back in 91? Because by God, he does not sound like his dad on this. He really does.
Yeah. And the musicality and the orchestration and it's all, the arrangement is all very Beatles-esque.
Yeah.
It's up to that mellotron, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I just think it's just really strange because in the rock world, say the rock pop kind of world, it is very, very unusual to have a single in the top 10, even in like the top 6, and then the follow-up album at least not to do something.
Yeah.
Considering it was airplayed quite a lot. I mean, yes, we said before, 91, that summer was quite busy for things. The Bryan Adams ruled the roost, and was it like Vanilla Ice and people like that, and all that kind of stuff was round, and Marillion's Holidays Needing Singles sank without a trace. But the album got number 7. But it's good. It's one of the early environmental kind of songs that were becoming a bit popular at the time.
Well, it is, but I'll save that till it's my turn.
It is a brilliant pop tune.
It's written by Julian Lennon, Mark Spiro, and Leslie Spiro, and that's the only writing credit they've got on this record. So I would imagine it was influenced to put this on it because it's not really like anything else that's on here, is it?
No.
With the exception, maybe Take Me Home on side 2, but
it deserved to be in the top 10.
Yeah.
It is a good tune, and it still holds up well, 34 years later.
Yeah. Okay, Mikey.
Just before I kick off, I forgot to mention the fact that I didn't realise until I was reading the credits of the album how much of a multi-instrumentalist Julian is.
Yeah.
Because I just thought singer-songwriter, having known Too Late for Goodbyes and Saltwater. Saltwater I've always loved. I have always loved this song. To me, it pulls off the Beatles pastiche just as well as George Harrison did himself with When We Was Fab, which he wrote with Jeff Lynne. The thing that always hooked me to it was the keyboard sounds, which to me are a bit Strawberry Fields-ish.
Yeah.
And then you've got the guitars, which are just pure George Harrison something. What I did read, funnily enough, was that Harrison was sending him riff and guitar ideas to actually put on the track, but he couldn't actually come along and do it himself because he was consoling Eric Clapton, who just lost his son that year.
Yeah.
And because they were very close, he was staying with Clapton. So it's a pastiche. Yes, it's a nod and a wink, and it's some sort of perverse child of John Lennon's Imagine in certain ways.
Yeah.
But it works. And I think the delivery of the song, apart from the hole in the sky thing, which the Earth is miraculously kind of fixed, that's the only thing that dates it. It's just as relevant now. And I think it was about 8 years ago, I think in 2016, he re-recorded it as Saltwater 25.
Oh, did he?
It doesn't quite have the same punch, I don't think. It's a bit less Beatlish, if I can put it. There's a nice animated video on YouTube that's available. It's worth checking out. It does bring it a bit more into the modern sensibility than what the original video did. But yeah, I've always loved this song. And I don't think I was expecting an album with Saltwater, but I was certainly expecting something more along those lines than what Rebel King delivered. And I think there's only another one or two tracks where I think I expected this is what the album to be.
Yeah.
So, to only get 2 or 3 tracks out of 12 is mind-blowing, because this album just delivers so much eclecticism. It's brilliant. But yeah, Saltwater's still up there. Not my favourite track on the album, but it's always been a good one.
Okay. Grae?
So this was where it all started to go wrong for about half a second. It started playing, I went, oh my God, here we go, it's the Beatles. Playing on that. But doing a little bit of research, obviously the riffs. So I think this is the song where the contested George Harrison solo and stuff comes in, because the riff was his idea. Some of the solo stuff was his idea, tied in with some of Julian's work, but both were played by Steve Hunter.
Right, yeah.
So he played the solo. He also played the acoustic part, and I think, which notably, Steve Hunter's the guy that played acoustic guitar on Salisbury Hill.
Right, okay,
for Peter Gabriel. So, and there's that clarity to the acoustic on this. I know it's not a picked riff, but it's that kind of clarity of sound. And I know it's a bit twee. I know it's from its time, but the lyric is what saved it for me, because I was like, actually, I get why it sounds the way it does, because it is something his dad would have written lyrically. It's something his dad would have fought for. It's something George Harrison, if you look at his charitable work and all that kind of stuff, and the fact that he helped write, I can understand it sounding either Traveling Wilburys or the Beatles, because it's got that kind of vibe in the middle section and all that kind of stuff. And it's a worthy single. It's a nice song, and I really like the sentiment of the lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great song. He sounds like his dad.
Very much so.
If Tears for Fears can do Seeds of Love, then he can certainly do this. It's a great song, and I love the twist at the end. I mean, you've talked about the hole in the sky, but the very last line is, "What will I think of me the day that I die?" And that just turns it completely 180. Absolutely brilliant line. I think it's a great single. It's not really like anything else, because I think Take Me Home is different again, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Track 4, Craig, is Would You?
Doing track 3 first, surely.
Sorry, yes.
I was going to say,
it's track 3. Why am I jumping ahead? Get a life.
Track 3 is Get a Life.
Get a Life, John, yeah. All right then, track 3.
Which was the third single. This is a pop rock song, acoustic and electric guitar. My thoughts on this is what I thought it sounded like is quite Traveling Wilburys, and a bit like quite Tom Petty-esque. The lyrics of the verses, the delivery is quite like staccato-y kind of, and it reminds me, in not the content, but the kind of style is a bit like Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire, where you've got the kind of thing.
Yeah. That's smart. I've got that as well.
Yeah, so that's it's just in the verses, not in the chorus. But yeah, it's got a proper Tom Petty bit Traveling Wilburys feel, which was happening around about the time in any case. It's very American feel to it. But it's a good song, and I can see why it was one of the singles.
Okay. Mikey?
I don't want to say what Craig said because we've been
Why?
here before. What Craig said.
You usually both do that, so just
He's spot on though, because it's exactly what I wrote down. What I did say was I would like to have heard Billy Joel deliver this. Not necessarily that it sounded like him, but I totally agree with Craig. That delivery of the lines for "We Didn't Start the Fire" is spot on.
I think the
it sounds a
verses,
bit.
but not the chorus.
Not the
No,
chorus.
Yeah,
no,
so I said just the verses.
This is exactly what I'm going to say because the verses to me sound a bit Elvis Costello-ish.
Yeah.
The
Have you seen the writing
choruses,
credit on this? It's Glenn Tilbrook.
Yeah.
The choruses jar a little for me. I think it's too much of a shift. I love the choruses. You know that you don't have to worry because everything's love it, love it, love it, love it. And I do agree, it does sound a bit like the Traveling Wilburys because I wrote that down as well.
You can tell he likes it. He's singing.
But I like all the vocal effects on his voice as well throughout this song.
Yeah.
You know, it's not on all the time and it's more apparent during the bridge. But if you listen to the track through a couple of times, there's like more effects in different places going on. It's really, really clever. The use of Hammond organs, there's got this honky tonk kind of feel to the track. Guitars all the way through this track are wonderful. It's good, it's up there, but it's not vying for favourite. This one for me. Although I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
All right. Grae?
I'm going to try hard to find something else to say because they've said everything I was going to say. I do agree. I get the Traveling Wilburys type thing and the Elvis Costello stuff. I was going to say, so in the, I don't know if it's the pre-chorus or the chorus where the guitars is going dun, 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 sounds very ELO Jeff Lynne to me, which again you could say Traveling Wilburys, but for me it's more with the way the backing vocals are done and all that kind of stuff. It sounds more ELO to me than that piece.
I think it's the 12 string that's in the underneath you don't have to worry bit that makes it sound like that.
It makes it sound like that. It's a great pop rock song. It really is. I can see was the third single, was it?
Yeah.
I can see why it was released as a single. It's a good fun song. Gets your foot tapping. But it's not in my top 3.
Okay. I mean, this is good. This is all right. It's not in my top 3 at all, but it's fairly typical of the album. I can see why you're saying Traveling Wilburys, but it's more exciting than Traveling Wilburys for me. That would be quite. I'm not a huge Wilburys fan. It's all a bit samey, but
there's stylistic.
Yeah, I mean the lyric I think is a Tilbrook. I certainly had a hand in it, but there's a particular bit that reminds me very much of his dad, of John Lennon. In the end, we're all afflicted. In the end, we're all addicted. In the end, we're junkies too, unless you have a point of view. That's Lennon, isn't it? That's brilliant. Just John Lennon, you know. But yeah, it's good. Track 4, Craig. I'll try again. Would you?
Well, if I'm asked nicely.
Would you?
I'm gonna hark back to something that Mikey said earlier on.
Sorry, I forgot to say one thing.
Let's go for it.
On Get a Life. That was the track I got the Kevin Gilbert vibes on. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. There you go.
There you go.
So yes, so back to Would You? I say I'm going to go back to a bit what Mikey said earlier, and this is one of the tracks where the sound effects and the background stuff is so lush, you know, because this starts out, you know, you're out at sea, aren't you? And you're on the deck of a wooden boat with the creaking and everything like that. Very, very atmospheric start, which doesn't necessarily exactly fit with the music that follows it too much. But it's a very like a dreamy feel. It's got like a polished American pop track feel to it. what it actually reminds me of, and again, we're going back thematically, not exactly sounding like, but it almost sounds like a 1990s Bee Gees album track.
You two, sorry, Mikey's just having a fit here. You two have compared notes this
We
week.
haven't at all. I've not spoke this week. It's definitely got a 90s Bee Gees feel to it.
No,
Have
it
you
Shall I
hasn't.
name the
No,
song
it
for you?
hasn't. It sounds like
is
I'll
it
tell you who
Eclectic
it's
from a
got. I'll tell
momentary
you who it's
lapse of
got when I do my bit.
reason. Don't be
no, hold on.
silly.
Which track are you think? Is there something have you done from High Civilization at ESP?
No,
No.
it's Bodyguard from the album One,
Ah, yes, Bodyguard. Yes, yes, yes,
and
yes,
it's
yes.
the vocal deliveries. It's the breathy vocals because the
Yeah.
Bee Gees do exactly the same thing in that song. Not that
Yeah,
we'll be
because
covering that album, but there
Yeah.
you go.
But yeah, I was definitely getting it. But there you go.
go on, Mikey, you've started, so you may as well carry on.
Yeah, I love the sound effects on this, and I love the way it actually just it's seamless from the end of the last track as well.
Yeah,
It
it
just
is.
goes
Yeah.
straight into it. You've got these, you can feel the creaking sails of an old boat and the sound of the ocean, and it's not like wave slapping, it's like proper rollers that you could, like big, massive waves and a storm going off way off in the distance. It's beautiful. And then you've got this percussive thing that starts coming in and then just going into piano. It is just so effective and beautiful. It's amazing. So I don't need to mention the fact that it sounds a little bit Bee Gees to me, but it is moody, it is atmospheric, it's got it in spades. I like it. I really like it. I think the lyrics are weird. I don't know where I quite sit with them. I've read them through a few times and I'm not quite they're not quite gelling with me yet. Um I don't know. I don't know. I can't quite
I don't know.
it's just not
I mean, the
clicking.
chorus is about the whale, isn't it? Which is a bit
Yeah,
strange, but
yeah.
it's such,
I don't know.
such a beautiful melody. It doesn't matter.
Well, no, it's a gorgeous song. It's a gorgeous song, but it again, still not one of my favorites, but it's gorgeous. It really is. Really lovely.
Okay, Grae.
It's weird because as soon as the sort of the at sea and the ropes creaking and stuff started, I had visions of Sturgill Simpson's A Sailor's Guide to Earth because that's how that starts as well. And I thought, oh, we're gonna get like Americana type stuff, and then this gonna. What I find it really a lot of the album, I think Hugh Padgham should have had credits for it because it all sounds like stuff he would have done. The way the drums are, the way the production is, it's very,
I
very.
think that's of its time, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. I don't. But this, I think. I mean, yeah, I get your Bee Gees reference. I disagree. I think it's more like something that Tears for Fears would sing. But also, I think the sounds on it and the production of it is very Testify / but seriously Phil Collins because he'd slowed everything down and lowered the impact of everything and made it all kind of nice. And it was like rather than big drums, unless he was going for it, it was all the programmed and sequenced drums. And this is gorgeous. The way it's done is amazing. The music is fantastic, but like you've already said, John, the vocal delivery, never mind the lyrics, the vocal delivery, that melody is sublime. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange lyric, as you say, but I mean the chorus, pushed by my sail, I am moved by the whale as he floats through life's seas. He seems always at ease. Show me how. It's beautiful. The way he sings that is just amazing. It, I mean, it's an Anthony Moore co-write, and it does sound like something off Momentary Lapse of Reason for
Yeah.
me, because of that. But the fretless bass on this is just glorious as well underneath it all. It's this has kind of crept up on me a little bit, this track. I have to be honest, the second side of the album is just knocks it out the park for me. And I usually go straight to my favourite track and play it from there, which is after this. So Would You tends to get overlooked, but I need to go back to it. It is glorious. Um, well, just right on time then, Craig. Maybe I was wrong. It's track 5.
I was going to say you never admit that, do you?
Yes.
I found this one nowhere near as much as Saltwater, but I did feel that there was almost like daddy influences, almost a little bit George Harrison-y kind of influences there. Not massively, but around the back. I think it's probably more because I think the harmonies in this are like a cross between a John Lennon harmony and a Pink Floyd or Roger Waters female backing vocals harmony. They've got that mesh. But yeah, I think it's got a nice big chorus to it.
Mm.
The keyboards on it, are they keyboard strings? Are they actually real strings in this? Because they've got more of a
I think the
keyboardy.
they're more keyboardy, aren't they?
Yeah,
There's no
there's more
credits for
keyboard.
strings, is there?
Yeah, I
There's
think
no
so.
credits
Yeah,
for strings.
yeah, because I thought that they're trying to do the stuff that we are, but I think there's some really nice guitar work throughout this, and I think the backing vocals and harmonies on it are really good. Not a top tune for us, but
Oh,
it's a good solid one.
you know, Mikey?
This one is vying for my favorite track on the album. I think it's absolutely wonderful. There's a tempo to it. I want to say it feels almost bolero. I can't quite put my finger on it, but if you listen to the way that the verse tempos play out, it's almost like that. There's something going on there. It's very akin to a bolero anyway. The chorus deliveries actually, Craig, remind me a little bit of Roger Taylor. I can imagine some of his solo work sounding like this.
Yeah.
I've got some Roger Taylor notes for later on in the album.
Oh, me too, me too. I think them noises that you're on about, Craig, there's these keyboard droning sounds which go on off and on throughout this track, which sound
It's just
absolutely
like a
wonderful.
wash, though, isn't it? It's like a
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But you've got like other keyboard work on top of that, and the guitars on this again are just absolutely wonderful. Um, and again, it's another one of those fading out too soon moments for me. This could have gone on for another 2, 3 minutes for me. I think it is absolutely sublime. I'm going to say this about another 2 or 3 tracks on the album, but so far, this is now my favorite track on the album.
Okay. Grae, what do you make of it?
I don't know what they were listening to.
Really?
Yeah. So, it's weird. So I think the saving grace on this song is the musicianship and the production. It is, like Mikey says about the guitars that are noodling away and quite, it's tastefully done. There's little things happening. Like you say, listening with headphones in this album is a revelation. You hear stuff, but it suffers from. We talked about the strings a second ago. If you listen to the horns and some of the bits and bobs, they're all synthesizer sounds.
They are, yeah.
And you can tell, and it makes it sound kind of cheap. I love the backing vocals, the bit where the chorus and stuff gets big and it goes into that sort of Roger Waters, Pink Floyd style, big, anthemic, is great. But the whole thing just kind of falls flat for me, and I don't know why. It's got all the right ingredients and it's really well done, but there are things on this album which blow it out the water.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, I agree with you on that. But I think it's worth it for the hook of the. I mean, it's hardly a chorus. I mean, it's just the line. Maybe I was wrong to believe it was you. But the way he sings that and the melody there, it's worth it for that payoff. It really is.
It's wonderful.
I think it's great. I mean, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of synthesized brass on it, but it doesn't sound in the same way, to use our other band, in the same way with Fantastic Place, you forgive him.
Yeah.
I can forgive him for that on here.
So I think one of my problems with this album, and I'd have to sit down and write them all down because I can't think of them off the. But there's a bit in this song where the synth goes and it sounds like something from another 80s single that was huge. And there's another bit with a midsection where you think, actually, I've heard that lyrical construct before. So there's bits in this album which I think, I've heard it before and I've heard it bigger. which I think is what's particularly this track's one of them. There's another track
Right.
that feels the same, where I'm like, yeah, I know what you're doing, but people have done it better. And with the musicians you've got, you should just have fucking gone for it and let it rip. I just, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's a Bob Ezrin thing, or maybe it's the production.
I don't know. I suppose it can't even be. I mean, they seem to have thrown a lot of money at this album. Looking at who's on it.
Yeah, I think it's just we've thrown loads of references around about bands that we can hear in this, and we talked about the people, the people, the session players have played with, who Bob Ezrin's worked for, Anthony Moore's worked for, James Guthrie's mixing, all that kind of stuff. We know all the places, and I think at times their influences come across as diluting Julian Lennon's intent in this. Sometimes there's bits of it, just every now and again I think, yeah, I've heard that before.
Okay. I mean, it's a 12-track album as well. You've got to allow him.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just this song is not the best for me.
Okay. Let's move on. Track 6 is Help Yourself, Craig.
Why, thank you. It was a self-service. This is the second single from the album, and again, you can tell this is a single. It was a good choice as a single. It's a quite a nice pop rock style track. I do think it's got a bit of Beatles.
You're going to say Wilburys again, aren't you?
Yeah, the Tom Petty kind of thing, and I think it's got some lots of nice like harmony backing vocals and that on it. I think that's one thing that this album does excel at, is its backing vocals and harmonies and that. But one thing I think the Mike and the Mechanics could do a very good cover version of this.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah.
It's especially like that early, first few albums.
Paul Young, Paul Carrack lineup. Yeah,
definitely like that. And funnily enough, I actually think a similar thing with the next track as well. But we'll talk about that when we get onto
Don't peak too early.
Yeah, not peak too early. But yeah, it's commercial enough, single, radio friendly. Yep.
Okay, Mikey.
If this was in place of maybe I was wrong, and that in this place is like the first side of the album, I think it would have sounded better.
Yeah, maybe. I can see that.
Because I think maybe I was wrong. It's too powerful a song for me to then go into this, which is a bit too poppy.
But it is a bit downbeat compared to this, isn't it? He maybe wants to bring it back up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the first song on the album that I was probably expecting the album to sound like.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, it is sorry, get me teeth in, a single, obviously sounding track for me. I don't think Get Alive sounds like a single. I don't think it probably should have been a single.
I'm wondering if they picked this as a single because it's the title track of the album. To try and sell some albums.
Very possibly. It's got a lovely driving rhythm to it. I agree with Craig entirely. The backing vocals and the double tracking on the vocals is just sublime. It just gives us such a depth. The guitar melodies running through it are absolutely sublime. The solo that runs through it, it's got Pink Floyd leanings. The only gripe I've got about this one isn't the fact that it fades out too soon, it's the fact that it's got a too abrupt an ending. I just think it could have been played out better. It's like I'm just getting into the guitar work and then, it's finished. It's like, give the guy a chance to play out. I don't know whether it was Julian playing or one of the other guys, but it's like there's a couple of really frustrating moments on the album for me, which is like, just let the music play out. And this time it didn't. I like it. It's not a bad track, but it's not at the top of my list.
No. Okay. Grae?
So this track quite surprised me. I get the I get the Tom Petty thing. I love the way it's the lyrical interplay with the music and stuff that he does as well. The Tom Petty thing, I think, is from the fairly standard din, 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 sort of rhythm that goes on through it. But again, headphones, listen to the guitar parts and the clean licks that go underneath it. Yeah. I actually got, this is probably a bit way out there, but I actually kind of got Mr. / Go West vibes from the guitar parts.
Yeah.
How they work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love them, by the way. So for me,
Have you heard Mr. Mister's Go On?
yeah,
I love that album. Love that album.
stunning.
Yeah.
So for me, although this is a pretty run-of-the-mill kind of exactly the kind of thing I would expect from a Julian Lennon, not knowing who Julian Lennon is, type stuff, I love it. It's still not in my top 3, but I think it's a really good track. I understand what you're saying, John, about putting it at the end of the side, because it was the last song on side 1, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Gives it that little lift after what went before it. Although what went before it was bigger, but more downplayed.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, good track.
Yeah. Okay. Craig has just hit the nail on the head for me. It does sound like a Mechanics track, really. You could really see the Mechanics doing it. I don't think it's a patch on the track before it. It's a bit of a filler track for me, which is strange because it's the title track. It's
and
a good
not
lyric.
a Tom Jones cover.
Sorry?
And not a Tom Jones cover.
No. Oh, now I've got that in my head. I didn't need that. It's the only credit for John McCurry on the album, so I don't know what to make of that. But yeah, it's okay. It's nowhere near my best track on the album, not even by country mile. But anyway, turning the record over in the vinyl days, side 2 starts with "Listen," Craig.
This I do think is very much of its time. This is very, very 1991. Keyboard led, like piano led chords with the drums. And again, talking about Mike and the Mechanics, I think this song would have fit perfectly on Word of Mouth from Mike and the Mechanics, which came out, was it a year or so after? I think it's very Mechanics of the time-esque, but with a Julian Lennon theme, the feel to it.
I think it's slightly more aggressive than Mechanic.
Yes,
that's
the,
what takes it out of there,
thing,
you know.
Yeah. But it's just because you know how Word of Mouth, the lead single and the title track is quite a driving song, and that's what I get. Again, it doesn't sound like it, but it's just got the feel of something that's kind of it's. It was what Mikey said about what the songs are. You know, it's pushing forward. It's quite a driving.
But this is driven by that piano with the drum riff, straight behind it, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's a very listenable track. Thank you very much. It's not one of my favourites, but it's canny.
We're running out of tracks. This is track 7, but Mikey, what do you make of it?
This is another one of my favourite tracks on the album. I think it's fucking awesome. I really do. I get massive Eye on the Walrus vibes with this. Yeah, totally. If you listen to the beat and the tempo as it goes into it, there's a Tears for Fears B-side from the Elemental era. I think it's I can't even say it. That scientist's cat,
Schrodinger's cat. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah. There's like that sort of like piano, sort of like stab work. Yeah, totally got vibes of that. The slide guitars on this are absolutely awesome. The keyboard sounds are lush throughout the whole thing. The bass work, I'm guessing it's a fretless, but it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
You're
not leaving Grae with anything to say.
You've got vocal filters and effects going on throughout the whole thing. The choruses are so uplifting. You know, there's not a lot to it, you know, but it's an arm waver. I think it's really, really good. My only gripe is it bloody fades out too soon again.
You have a badge with that.
Like, I should do. You know, it's faded out
Get him a t-shirt.
But yeah, it's up there for me. Like, I think it's absolutely awesome.
Okay. Graham, has he left anything to say?
There's a couple of things. Vying for my just picked, I think, outside of my top 3. I love this song. It is definitely driving, but I think part of that drive, I know, Mikey, you mentioned the bass. Part of that drive is the bass plays a lot between the beats. So it does the dum, and there's a lot of dum dum between, you know, so it fills and it keeps it going. So although you've got that dum 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 with the keyboards going over the top,
the
The bass makes it sound like it's doing more all the way through the song. It is superb the way it's done. And that slide guitar, it's not up there giving it a slide solo. It's the slide playing the riff. It's down, it's dirty, it's mean, it's just huge. I'm getting excited. I mean, I love it. I think it's a brilliant song.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
Okay. Favorite track?
And the lyrics are good. No,
Is it
no,
your
no.
favorite track? No, we're not there yet. Okay.
Just outside my top 3.
I think it's great. It does sound very Tears for Fears. I think it's driven by that snare, which, I mean, the drumming is so simple on this track and it doesn't vary at all. It doesn't.
Is this not the one where he starts?
Well, a little bit, but there's nothing. He's not flash on it, is it?
No, not at all.
It's driving that song along.
It's like a
and again, it's another big chorus.
Yeah.
You know, there's some great chorus hooks on this record. There really are. But it's not my favourite track, or even one of my favourite 2 tracks. Craig, track 8 is The Other Side of Town.
No, I think this is probably going to be your favourite track as well. This is a duet with Paul Buchanan of the Blue Nile, and
it is.
Their 2 voices work so well together on this song. They've got a nice contrast between the 2 of them. It's, you know, like a piano, keyboard, like based ballad. It's got quite an American sound to it, quite mid-tempo. I love the build in it because it really builds nice, and the guitar solo at the end is just outstanding. And I think it's definitely a highlight of the album for me.
Okay. Mikey?
Yeah, I fucking love this one as well. Yeah, totally agree that I mean, first listen, having not read the sleeve notes and what have you, I didn't know that this wasn't Julian, you know.
Okay.
Because to me, he's got so many not singing styles but singing voices on this album. You know, if
he doesn't always sound like his dad.
Yeah, well, if you had played me cold 3 or 4 of these tracks on the album and said to me, "Who is this?" I wouldn't have said Julian Lennon.
No way.
And this falls into that category, but primarily because it bloody well isn't. But it is wonderful. Do you not think that opening guitar riff sounds a bit Steve Rothery?
Could be. Like,
you know, it's
Berlin, well, Season's End.
I was thinking Season's End. Yeah. The choruses do that sort of, they're uplifting choruses, but they're dark, they're heavy, they're weighty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another one that I haven't written a lot of notes of because it was one of them ones where I've just played over and over and over again just to absorb myself in it. The guitars do that rip-roaring solo towards the end. And then what does it do? Bloody fades out too soon, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But way too soon on this. Like, way too soon. You're still in guitar land where this gets faded out, and that's naughty, smacky back of hands for me. But I bloody love this track. It's vying for top position. If it wasn't for that fade out, it nearly got to number 1.
Graham.
This is deceptively simple, this song. Deceptively simple. It's gorgeous, really simple verses with that sort of the it sounds expensive, this one, compared to what I was saying earlier on. This sounds like it should with the money that they've spent on the album. The keyboards are lush. The guitar part sounds like a Mike Rutherford type, the delay, the slapback echo and all that kind of stuff. It's beautiful. The lyrics are fantastic. The way it's sung is amazing. And then, like you say, Mikey, that uplifting chorus, well, you get the impression it's uplifting until you listen to the words. You know, when the sky falls down, do you think it'll make a sound on the other side of town? Like, really? But it's, and then but even though it doesn't grow, but as it goes on, that the guitar starts well before the solo. You can hear things underneath. You can hear little bits coming in, stuff, and it keeps your attention So it sounds like a really simple verse, chorus, midsection, verse, chorus, solo. And then when you pay attention to it, there's all these little payoffs with things that happen everywhere else. It's such a well-produced album. And this song is in my top 3.
This song is in my top 12 songs of all time. It's fucking amazing.
It's just unbelievable.
Absolutely fucking amazing. It's the reason we're reviewing it now. I can't read the lyrics to you because it'll make me cry.
We
Paul
made a habit of
Buchanan's
it.
voice is just gorgeous. If you know the Blue Nile, you know Paul Buchanan's voice. And that juxtaposition from Julian to Paul Buchanan, it's just beautiful. I thought, I misremembered when I was talking to the guys that I thought Gilmour was on the end of this because it is a Gilmour-esque solo at the end. He's not on it at all. But it
I think
sounds
this is the
like
John
him.
McCurry one.
Yeah, it sounds like him. If you listen to no other tracks on this album, play this track. This is fucking amazing. And I'm just listening to it right now and the guitar solo started, but it's, yeah. I mean, the lyrics are just brilliant. Open the door to me. It's raining outside, drenched in life's misery tonight, this lonely night. Day for day, with the stars falling at our feet, all the time we were living down on Easy Street. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And from there, from the sublime to the ridiculous, track 9 is called New Physics Rant. Craig.
I'm going to use my Craigie Poo's patented statement of off its baps.
It is.
It is. It's absolutely off its baps. I mean, to be fair, New Physics Rant, it should really be called like New Philosophical Rant rather than Physics Rant because it's very much a science versus the soul kind of theme with the track. And doing the patented, what do I think it sounds like? I think David Bowie meets Talking Heads.
Yeah.
You've got jiggy together and kind of, and just blurted out in this stream of consciousness. No, it's like I say, it's off its baps. It is a bit of a strange one, but it's very listenable, and I mean the addition of the kids chorus in it. It's not
Scout
quite.
Troop Choir. Is it a Scout
Yeah.
Troop Choir or something?
It's a scout troop choir, and
It is, it's the
you've
San
got-
Fernando Valley Girl Scout Troop 592.
So
It's
we
batshit,
need them on the
that's
next Marillion album, I think. Yeah, it's got that, even though it's not, but it has got that feel of another brick in the wall with sound to it with their voices, not what they're singing, but just that.
Yeah.
It echoes that, but it's off its baps and it's entertaining.
Okay. Mikey, can you describe New Physics Rant?
Bonkers. I absolutely love this. I think it's absolutely just dub-tastic brilliance. I agree with Craig. As soon as the opening lyrics came in, I thought, hey up, Mr. Bowie's turned up. And then the vitriolic chorusy bits, which are spoken by the physics professor, if you like, I kind of got this Magnus Pike meets Roger Waters delivery.
Yeah, it's very.
It's just,
I was thinking of Magnus Pike hyperactive type of thing. You know, he gets more and more
because
animated as the verse goes on, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely, because obviously he was involved with Thomas Dolby's "She Blinded Me with Science," and that was the first thing that sprung to mind when I heard this track. It does fall foul of that 80s into 90s cliche of using children's choirs in songs, where you've got, yes, Craig, Another Brick in the Wall. You've got was it Living Years by Wright and the Mechanics?
Yeah,
there's a choir, they're not kids'
Toy
choir, there's a choir on it.
But it's that.
Grandad.
I think there's a few little. It works though. I think there's certain songs where you think, I don't know, this seems a bit shoehorned. It's not it's there's no one quite like Grandma kind of thing. It's not going down that route. But I just love the cut and paste jobs, the editing involved with this. All the stop and starts and sound effects going on. It's bloody amazing. I mean, it's a bit of fun. It does take you out of the album a little bit. Um,
I
but
might ask you
I
later on
really enjoyed
what
it.
your preferred running order is for this album, because I think you may have a slightly different one. But yeah,
Yeah. But
Mad as a box of frogs.
it's it's nowhere near the top five tracks on the album for me. I think it's definitely different. Um, but I love so much of this album that it's like I say, it's very hard to pick favorites now. Um, on my first listen, this was number one or number two. It's
right.
just other ones have grown on me, and I've getting into the more atmospheric stuff than the more eclectic dubby stuff that's on the album.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's brilliant. It's a producer's dream. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Great.
So I'll be honest. See, the first time I heard this, I thought David Bowie had guested vocals on the album. Seriously, I was because you said don't listen to it in the background. I had it on, but I was doing other stuff, and I'm like, hang on a minute, who? What? And I had to really concentrate to realize it wasn't. The song itself sounds to me as if David Bowie has guested on a Peter Gabriel track from the Us era. So like Steam or something like that. That production, the way the drums and the bass are doing the interplay at the beginning and all that kind of stuff, it sounds very Gabriel-esque to me, that kind of production style. But then, I said there's a song on here that gives me that kind of certifiable number one smash batshit crazy kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
This is that song. And it is absolutely brilliant because it is so bonkers. I absolutely love it. There is everything. If it was done badly, it would be awful.
Yeah.
But it's produced so well, it grows so well, and it just gels as an idea. And it's in my top three songs on the album.
Yeah, me too. I think side two is a journey. It really is, the way that the tracks rise and fall. You couldn't put this track after the next one because Imaginary Lines is similar, has some similar tricks to this. I think New Physics Rant sounds a bit, there's a bit of Talking Heads, Craig, kind of a bit of Tom Tom Club. There's some very clever splice edits on the bass that you just, and I think the choir, the kids' choir, is absolute genius. It's nothing like Another Brick in the Wall. Nothing like it. It's the antithesis of the guy ranting, the teacher, whoever's ranting, and then it cuts from that to the kids singing "Everywhere Our World's Expanding, Journeys Through the Soul, Past all thought and understanding, science or control." But much better than I've just said it there. It's absolutely bonkers, as you've all said, but it's brilliant. It's really good. Track 10 is very different, has a very different feel to it, Craig. It's called Take Me Home.
Yeah, this is almost a Tom Petty-esque, George Harrison-esque acoustic led track. I think he's vocally sounding like his dad again on this one, a bit. But to me, this is a fairly middling, average, standard track. I don't think it stands out for me, but there's nothing wrong with it. See, I don't actually think there's a crap song on the album.
Okay, Mikey.
I think it's a necessary breather after that last track, to be completely honest with you. It's one of the ones on the album that I thought this is what I was expecting. I agree. It's back to his sort of like sounding like his dad's Saltwater delivery style. But the acoustic guitar work through this, absolutely wonderful. But what made it for me was the the electric guitar sound effects that are going on in the background behind it all. I was tuning into that more and letting the acoustic guitar kind of wash over me because that electric guitar work is just making noise and it's just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And for such a simple sounding track, again, the production on it just takes you off in other directions. There's so much going on that's so way back in the mix. It's wonderful. Yes, it's not one of my favorite tracks on the album, but that's only because there is so much other amazing stuff on the album. I enjoy it. I think it's a necessary breather because for me, like you, John, side 2, inverted commas, is fucking amazing from start to finish.
Yeah,
really is. And I think this is nicely placed. There's nothing on this album I would swap around apart from track 5 and 6. I just think they need flipping. I think that this is one of them albums that's just perfectly paced. It really is.
Okay, great.
Take Me Home we're talking about, isn't it?
Yes.
I love it. And I love it because it's that breathing space between what came before and what's about to come next.
Yes, yeah.
Again, it's the simple, like Mikey says, if you just listen to it, it's a simple song. You've got that nice acoustic guitar piece and all that kind of stuff, and the underlying sort of rhythmic section, the keyboards and stuff. The lyrics are really, it's that kind. I'm not sure if it's unrequited love or if it's wishing for something that doesn't exist. Well, kind of the same thing, but you know what I mean. If you take me home tonight, you won't be alone. If you take me home tonight, I won't be alone. The way the wordplay on it, I love the sentiment in the song. I think it's beautifully done. And again, it's a headphone song because you do, like Mikey says, you hear things in the background. You're going, oh, didn't hear that when I first listened to it. It's not in my top 3 or 4 songs, but that doesn't mean it's bad, as Mikey says. This is one of those albums, without giving a spoiler to my end vote, this is one of those albums where I don't think there's a bum note on the album. I think overall the album, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not all at the same level, but I don't think I would say anything didn't deserve to be on it.
Okay. This is one of my favourites on the record.
Yeah.
It's because it's so simple, but the lyric is just amazing. I think to me, it's a relationship that's broken down, and he doesn't want it to end.
He's trying to,
sometimes our emotions make it hard for us to see that at the heart of loving is respect and honesty. And sometimes I'm afraid that I give less than I should give, but this time I will hold you for as long as I live.
We need to
stop. Gorgeous, isn't it?
We need to stop.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Anyway, back to batshit crazy, Craig. Imaginary Lines.
I think this is quite a really good anthemic rocker. I do like this, and it has got. See, we talking earlier with the Roger Taylor vibes. This has got Roger Taylor solo track written all over it. This could have been a Roger Taylor song. I think it's an absolute corker, and this is actually one of my favorite tracks on the album as well. I really, really like it. Really, really like it.
Okay. Mikey?
This is vying for my favorite track on the album. It changes with every listen, which one is. I think my last listen, it was Other Side of Town. The listen before that, it was Listen. And this one, I think on my first ever playthrough, I was just like, wow, I fucking love this. And what it gave me, Craig, was actually more the Cross vibes than Roger Taylor.
Yeah.
It's them choruses. It's arm waving stuff, you know.
Anthemic.
The Why Can't We See It's All a Record of Lies. It's their kind of truth. It all can be proved with imaginary lines. This could be sung now with all this shit going on with Russia and the Ukraine and people stealing borders and stuff like that. And then you've got that juxtaposition with that bit in the middle, the spoken part with the children diving, diving and the imaginary lines.
Yeah,
I got that sort of thing with like the children used to always swim down like a line to get to the oysters and use it to swim back up. But with the intervention of trawlers, those lines were got rid of. So that was meaning that the children were drowning because they couldn't get back up to the surface in time. I think it is just mind-blowing lyrical content. It is so clever, so clever. And I thought it was a sample from a movie or something, the way it's been delivered and the effects on the vocals. But he's got a lyric credit for the entire thing. So, it's just the production on this is off the charts for me. And I can't remember which point of the song it was because I forgot to write the time signature down. But there's some like almost phasing guitar sounds. I'm not sure what
it's at the end of the spoken word bit where he says, "And the lagoon cried." It's there.
Yeah, I don't know what has created that effect, but it is fucking awesome. Maybe Grae can pick up on that. But yeah, sorry, I'm going to say it's my favorite track on the album.
Yeah.
Just at the end, yeah.
Graham's listening to it instead of talking to us now. It's your turn, man.
Right, I know that. I'm just trying to find.
Are you fast forwarding?
Yeah. I think it's a phaser. I think it's a phaser that's on it. Yeah. So I know I've already said my top 3 songs, but this could be in my top 3 songs. You know what I mean? It's one of those. There's 4 or 5 in the album that are just head and shoulders above the rest, and this is one of them. I'm going to say something which might be contentious because you might not get the reference. Do you know who would do an amazing version of this? Roxette.
Okay.
It's got that really driven rock pop vibe to it, and the way the guitar part is and all that kind of stuff. It's got that kind of Swedish pop rock drive and vibe and production. It is so good. The guitars on it sound fantastic. The rhythmic, the way the drums are, the whole drive of the thing. It just,
again, it's that really dry snare, though, isn't it?
It is. And if you say to somebody, "Oh, it's a pop rock song," it gives entirely the wrong impression because it's so much more than that. It is utterly brilliant. Utterly brilliant.
Yeah, it is. I can't disagree with it. Again, it's another big chorus. I can't believe this album wasn't a hit. I really can't. There's such amazing stuff on it. Imaginary Lines is just it. It's not quite as batshit crazy as New Physics Rant, but it's out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's just fantastic. Side 2 just flies by for me because it's banger after banger, and this is another one. You've all said lovely things about it. I think it's a brilliant track.
Oh, Mikey's jumping in.
And it fades out too bloody soon.
Hey,
sorry, I forgot to say that.
Well, it does. It does. Honestly, there is nothing on this album that I would have took off to have made these songs longer at all. But I would love to have heard some longer versions of these songs, or just to have been sat in the studio while they were recording it.
They made a vinyl of an album that's over an hour long, so I'm not. I think that might have been a limit to it, if I'm honest. Anyway, track 12, last track on the album, Craig, is "Keep the People Working."
Yeah, it's a bit of people politics, this one. Factory worker chant and stuff like that. I think this has also got a little bit of a Roger Taylor vibe, but it's as if Roger Taylor got together with the people who did Rent the musical and just mashed it up, because it's almost got like a modern musical.
Did you say Rent the musical?
Rent, yeah.
Fucking love that show.
Yeah, or it could even be like Team America World Peace. Everybody has,
My daughter's done Rent actually.
Yeah, but it's got that just different feel to it. It's a very different track. It's quite a political track and quite a people power track. As an album closer, yeah, it's a very interesting song. Very interesting song, but yeah. It deserves to be the album closer because I don't think it would have fit anywhere else on the album. But it's a bit of an odd closer compared to what's actually gone before it. It's a bit batshit, but it's not batshit in the way that.
What would you have finished the album with?
No, I think this. Okay. I think it because this fits where it is.
Yeah,
and he's trying to end it with a statement.
Okay, Mikey.
I think this is absolutely fucking genius again. Um, this was an Anthony Moore co-write, wasn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a co-write. It's just an Anthony Moore
Oh,
song.
just a him, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's nothing like Dogs of War or The Turning Away, is it?
No, it's not. No.
um, I love the sound effects at the opening. It's there's just again, it's like the production on this album is just so clever and meticulous. And but the drums make this for me. I think they are absolutely outstanding, and the guitar work on this is equally as impressive. I tell you what, Roger Taylor song I got the vibes from this, Craig. Can you remember Freedom Train from the Happiness album?
Mm.
It's basically just fucking drums.
Mm.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what made this for me was that fairground music playing out at the end.
Yeah, it's a good way to end, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just again off its baps, batshit crazy stuff. I think it's a good end to the album, but in hindsight now, just talking about it, I'm wondering if had Imaginary Lines been a little bit longer and not faded out as soon, whether that would have been a better ending to the album.
Maybe.
And
Maybe.
this had maybe been a hidden track,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, like a bonus track or something. I don't know. It definitely deserves to be there, though.
I think it just gives it that
awesome.
comedy end, though. The bit at the end of
Yeah,
the song,
yeah, the
doesn't it?
fairground play out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's almost like a cartoon ending.
yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Love it a bit.
Okay, Grae?
I love it. It's almost like the way it's put together to me. It's almost like sort of the rhythmic. Don't know if any of you ever seen Muse live. Was it the Systematic Chaos tour where they had all the drummers at the front with the all that kind of. You can imagine that on stage. You can imagine the people like big Kaito drums. Are they called the big Japanese ones, giving it all big licks and driving that. It sounds huge, but then over the top of it, it's got what I would call. It's almost like a Plantation lyric. It's almost like that. The way it's done is that kind of call and response, kind of. Yeah, that sort of work song type thing. Yeah. It is so good, so driven. It again, like half of the album sounds like nothing else on the album.
No.
And yet it fits on the album. Mikey said about 3 times, this is not what I expected to come next. But I think that's what makes the album so interesting. You don't know what you're going to get from one track to the next. You go from batshit crazy to gorgeous acoustic thing to a really driven pop song to this, which is a phenomenal end to the album. And that kind of comical release at the end.
Like pipe organ at the end.
It's so good.
Yeah. It's a great way to end the record. I think this is a wonderful record. I mean, what else can you say about Keep the People Working? You've all said, described it really well. I think if you've never heard this record, you really should give it a listen. It's amazing. The fact it wasn't a hit is criminal. It's absolutely criminal to me. As I said before, if you only play one song, play The Other Side of Town. But give it time. Just take an hour out and listen to the whole thing. It is brilliant, in my opinion. Craig, what's your overview of the whole thing? Similar?
Yeah, I can't quite figure out why it was such a commercial flop in the UK, especially with brand recognition. And
42?
it was 42 is what it peaked at.
42, yeah.
When it was 4 weeks in the chart, and it just was like it was 2 weeks in the 40s and then down to like 60s and then out.
Weirdly, it got to number 5 in Australia, but nowhere else.
It's because it's got a Men at Work vibe to it.
Yeah, but that track has, yeah.
But yeah, it deserved better. I mean, was there a tour to go along with this?
Can't
Was
see
there
any reference to it on here. There may have been, but I don't have that information, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I've not found anything about tour for it.
No.
See, I think this is the thing, because like I said earlier on, is he an artist who has had a a passionate fan base, or is he just somebody who people have latched onto for particular songs? I really don't know, because I mean, I don't really know that much about his career.
So I wonder if it's that, or if it's because the record label didn't understand him. So it was Atlantic in the States, and apparently they didn't push the album at all. And then
Well,
they tore.
he was managed by Tony Smith, the Genesis manager at this point. So I
Hit
don't
and
really,
run, yeah.
I don't know why. I can't see why it went so badly.
So, and I just think at that time, if you look at what the state, so it got 42 in the UK album charts, and that was a Virgin release. So Virgin would understand him because they're used to that type of artist. But Atlantic at the time were focusing on very, very different stuff in the States. And they wouldn't know what to do with this because it's not something you can pigeonhole. And the American charts like to go, this is a rock album, this is a metal album, this is a country album. Even nowadays, they still try and do it, even though everything's batshit crazy and nobody sticks to a genre from one verse to the next, never mind things. But they're very, very much, if they don't understand it, they can't sell it because nobody will listen to them because all their radio stations are very specific. You know, we're used to a radio station that will go from Tears for Fears to Metallica to Guns N' Roses to Atomic Kitten to whatever. The States don't do that. The States have FM channels that are dedicated to a genre of music. They have very, very few channels so they don't understand it. And I think that's possibly why he would have suffered as an artist, because unless you went to him because of the name, you're not gonna understand where it fits.
He didn't. All he did in 1991 were radio shows to promote the album, and he played Saltwater at every one of them, and a track called "Loving Is Easy." He didn't tour.
So I think that's probably got a lot to do with it, because if he'd booked a tour, I think people would have wanted to go and see him, and then it's the old thing of like
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, a tour is meant to promote an album. An album's meant to promote a tour, whichever way you found, because the whole symbiosis kind of thing. So if there was nothing to get people excited by, I think.
Do you not think that this album would have been difficult to replicate live without being very expensive?
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
I do not for 1 minute think that they would have thought twice about the financial implications of a tour. I don't think that would have been, because it's not like he was shy of a penny or two.
No, but if the album hadn't performed, Virgin certainly wouldn't have fronted any money for a tour of.
But usually the tour would be booked before the album was released. It doesn't happen. It's it's a case of back in the day, your tour was you had your release date penned in 6 months before an album came out, and your tour was pegged to be around the time of a tour. So, and with it being a top five and a hit single, they knew that they were going to get a hit single out of that. So I bet you knew that the New Farewell were going to get a hit single out of it. Unless he didn't want to tour, whether he doesn't want to be a touring artist.
It's a bit weird as well when you look at what they spent on the album. Or I don't know how much it cost, but if you like Bob Ezrin, Anthony Moore, James Guthrie as a sort of production team, writing team, and then the session musicians that are involved. I mean, if you look at the people that they've played with, John McCurry's played with, Steve Hunter's played with Billy Joel. He's played with Alice Cooper. He's played with all sorts of people before and after. Huge artists. So the cost of those musicians on a daily rate would have been huge. So they're not shy of a few bob on the album. It just seems odd that they wouldn't promote it. I don't.
He's not. If you look on Setlist FM, there's not a lot of Julian Lennon set lists, so he's not really toured in it to any sort of degree.
Right. Okay.
I mean, he's toured a little bit more than he did for this album, but he's not a prolific live performer or anything like that.
Maybe he's never been comfortable in it. It's a long-term thing. Some people are like that.
It's deleted on CD and on vinyl now. Mikey's about to purchase or has purchased whichever a vinyl recently, haven't you, Mikey?
Yeah, eBay's got a few copies. If you look on Discogs, you're barking up the wrong tree. There's just nothing there unless you're in Europe. For the vinyl, that is.
Yeah. And as we say, it was really re-released. What year did we say?
2009.
2009. But I think it's harder to find on those copies. The Virgin, you can get copies of the Virgin CD for £5 or £6, I think, on Amazon and eBay. So,
And obviously it's on the streaming services. So
yeah, it's on streaming. I played it on Apple Music this morning, so it's definitely there. But, Mikey, what do you think of this record in a couple of sentences?
I'm pissed off that I didn't get it in 1991 because this would have been right up my street back then anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's awesome. I totally agree with you, John. I think if you're going to pick a song or two, if you don't want to listen to the album, I would pick out Other Side of Town, Listen, and Imaginary Lines. They are just mind-blowingly awesome. But then the entire album is, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Yet again, kicking myself. Should have been playing this for years.
Well, thank you for that. Grae, what do you make of it overall?
Well, I think there's a reason the four of us can all talk for hours, because we've all got if you listen to the title material, we all listen to different stuff, but when we put it into the pot, we all find so much that we like. For me, this is a revelation. I said it right at the top. This was a revelation to me because I'd written him off without listening to him. I'd heard a couple of singles. But yeah, whatever. I don't know what this is like compared to his other albums, but I'm willing to now.
Me neither. I've never gone anywhere else in his catalogue.
So I'm willing now to go and take a punt and listen to the other material. There's I don't know if I've just bought the one Mikey was looking at, but there was one at $14.95 and £3 postage on eBay. So. Yeah, I mean, it's got everything. If you listen to the references we put in, the Elvis Costello stuff, Tom Petty, okay, the Beatles, there's the Cross, there's the Billy Joel type stuff, there's the delivery, all that kind of stuff. It's a real melting pot of an album, but it's one of those rare occasions where, although the style is, when Harry Styles' first album came out, right? My daughter sent me a link and I went, it's brilliant, but it's not an album because it doesn't gel. Everything's different. It makes no sense. And it didn't work. This, however, everything's different, but there's something that goes through the album that makes it all work as an album.
Yeah.
It is just, I cannot believe I didn't know the album beforehand. And I'm really gutted that I missed it at the time because it would have been something that I'd have paid attention to.
Well,
funny they mentioned that about the Harry Styles album, because when I listened to that, I thought exactly what you said. It wasn't cohesive at all.
Oh, it was batshit. It's like it was all over the place. But
yeah,
his second album's more refined. He's pulled it into a
yeah.
Anyway, that's what we think of Julian Lennon's Help Yourself album. What do you think of it? Let us know in our Facebook group. Planet Marzipan presents Planet Music. That's correct, isn't it?
Indeed.
All that remains to be said is thank you to my guest presenters. No, they're not guest presenters. To my co-presenters, Grae Tennick.
Thanks for having us again. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Mikey K.
Thanks again, guys. And again, John, fabulous choice. Thanks very much.
No, thank you. And thank you to Craig.
Well, thank you, young sir.
All that remains to be said from me is it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Take care.
And stay alive.
Yay! Thanks for listening
to Planet Music from the makers of Planet Marzipan.
If you like what you've heard, please like and subscribe, and maybe even join our Facebook discussion group.
You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com.